Hello friends, welcome to the another episode of Infinite Journey. As I said, life is a journey. We are always coming from somewhere and we are going somewhere. And in between the time, what we spend is called a journey. And this entire series is all about this journey. In my long life, more than 50 years, I have met lots of people who has inspired me. And I always think there is a seed of greatness in them, and if I manage to put that seed or sow that seed somewhere, the greatness will spread. And one of that person is Hitesh Jain. I met him, and few of the things I know, few of things I don't know, few of the things you must know. And this is the through our talks we'll try to reveal the greatness of Hitesh in front of you, so that you can be inspired. So first, thanks Hitesh for coming, and I must tell you, you are looking very smart. What is the secret of your smartness? In that sense, it may be a joke, but you look very fit. You look very fresh. I know you have coming from a long Bhiwandi journey, but there's no sign of that tiredness. So do you gym or just tell us?
No, nothing like that. It's just good music that I was listening all the way while coming here.
So, what are the things as you said, music, and you are also a business person,
Yes.
correct? So, do you think there is a dichotomy that being a music lover and a business person at the same time?
Music does help me personally, and when I feel good personally, I do good professionally as well.
So, what are the things you do to feel
Good
good
personally?
about? Yes.
I enjoy myself. I enjoy every moment. I'm enjoying the conversation happening between us now. I enjoy rain. I enjoy sports. I enjoy parties. I enjoy everything. Like I try to find happiness everywhere where I could, and that's how I get myself that positive energy.
So, I whenever I feel down, I read a poem book. Okay. Whenever I'm energetic, I look at the advertising book.
Yeah.
So, is there any something in you as well?
So whenever I feel down, I try to be amongst people and understand more about their life rather than focusing on my own life. Because thinking about my own troubles would pull me back again there, and it's not going to let me come out. So whenever I feel low, I call people, hi, what are you doing? Let's catch up for a coffee or a drink. So this is how I try and avoid negative things. And talking about energetic moments, whenever I am highly energetic, I call people who are as energetic as me and willing to do whatever I say and do something positive about it, so that the energy does not get wasted.
I mean, you said whenever you feel low, so what are the things that make you feel low?
There are thousands of things that make you low, because whenever you face a situation where you fail somewhere, which happens every now and then, because it's not necessary that you always get on the number one rank. I try for 10 times for one thing, 9 times I'll fail. I feel demotivated, and that's when I try and meet other people. I try and divert myself from that situation. Okay, it's not the right time now. Let's focus on something else. Let's get the mind diverted for some time and then refocus again.
I was a very good student. I was the university topper, but in my MA exam, my result was very bad, and there was some song by Ashok Khosla, and I must have heard that song at least 1,000 times. But after 3 days, I was feeling fine. Maybe song has done something. So, is there some instances in a bad situation, something really made you right? I mean, healed you in that sense.
I came up with a lot of business ideas. As you know that I'm into multiple businesses. I am into plumbing, I am into import, I am into paintings. I also do a lot of other things, like I write as well. I used to sing as well. So there are a lot of things that I've been doing, and all of them I face regular failures. For example, now I came up with a new product in my industry, plumbing industry, that I had been doing since the last so many years. And my first order that I imported was a complete failure, and it costed me around 22 lakhs. So that was a complete failure. I knew that I was in a big trouble at that point of time. I could not think anything, and I don't know why I follow this, but whenever I feel that I cannot think anything, I leave it there and there. I don't force things on it. I leave it, छोड़ दो अभी इसको, let things get settled down automatically, and then I'll rethink again. So what I did is I left it for another 1 week. I didn't think about anything. After a week, I again got that order corrected, and things solved immediately, because I thought this is not the right time to think over about it, because I'm in a mess and I'll do further mess if I do anything right now. So this is one of the best examples that I can give. It's a recent example. It's like hardly 1 month back.
So you told you are into multiple businesses.
Yes.
Just tell us about few, because I have not seen a person like one side is into is a plumbing business, another side is in an artist. So just tell us few of the things, and how do you balance also?
So plumbing is something that's in my blood. This business is into my blood because since my childhood, I've been working with my parents, with my dad at his store, and understood this business very well. So since like almost 20 years, I'm into this business. I know what a plumbing tap means. Like if you ask a 10-year-old boy what are the different varieties of taps you get, he would not understand, but I would understand because I had been selling those taps since the time I was 11, 12 years of age, and so I understand what this industry is, and I've seen the complete transformation of plumbing industry. Like when you say there used to be single taps for bathrooms, like one tap for cold water, one tap for hot water. So this is the time I got into plumbing industry, and I've seen the complete industry changing. And the major thing that I've learned is I succeeded because I went with the change in trend. Whenever there was a change in trend, I opted for that product which was coming new, and this is where I succeeded, I think, in this industry. And talking about my hobbies, artistry was my hobby, painting was my hobby. I wanted to learn it since my childhood, but I couldn't because I didn't get time for doing this. Almost like 4.5 years back, I started learning. I started doing paintings. I learned it from a school in Borivali East. I learned it, and then I started practicing it. I used to do it for friends, for family. I started getting orders from their references, and this is how this idea came into my mind, and then I started doing it as a profession as well. So balancing both these things, painting and portraits, I'm still growing as a profession. Plumbing is one of my core business that I've been doing since last so many years. So my focus is on both the things. I am a person who like to delegate things and not do it whether myself. So what I do is I delegate my work properly so that I find time for my own hobbies where I could feel good about it, that I am doing something for my hobby as well. So artistry is one of my hobby which I am turning into profession, and I would be very professional about it. This is what I am planning for.
Which is more difficult, plumbing business or the artist you are?
If you talk about difficulties in business, I don't find difficulties anywhere because difficulties are a part of it. Like I don't say difficulties because talking about painting is something that I've been doing very as a profession. I started it very recently. So
but you never used to do in childhood or?
No, I never used to do painting in childhood.
But how come out of the blue? I think just 4 years. How old are you now?
I'm 32 now.
So at the age of 28 you started learning
Yes.
painting. But how come did something trigger or?
I had this hobby of doing paintings since my childhood, but then I didn't get time to do it. I was not supported well, maybe, or I was not motivated well for doing it. Supported would not be the right word, but I was not motivated well to do it. But then, as I said, I find ways to divert myself. So, in one situation, I was very much bogged down. I wanted to divert myself somewhere. I saw a newspaper ad, learn painting and portraits. I joined the classes, and that's when I got into it as a profession.
So why don't you tell something more about your childhood, your parents, where did you start your journey? Because childhood is the where our journey in a way begins. So I'll come back to the your beginning of that journey.
I'm born and brought up in Mumbai. I was very close to my grandparents, and after then, like I started. I used to go to dad's store. He also runs a plumbing store since my birth. So since my school timing, I was like in my primary schooling days. School hours were afternoon hours, but after fifth grade, school hours were morning hours, and after afternoon, like after 1 o'clock, I used to be free. So I used to come home at 1:30. Dad used to come home for lunch at the same time. So I used to go with that store, and whole day I used to be there. So when you talk about childhood days, I've never made a lot of friends during my childhood days. So even today I could not recollect anyone who is a friend of mine since my school days. I have friends who are very recent friends. So I don't have any school friend right now as well, because I never made one of them. So after my schooling hours, I used to go to that store, and that store, all the customers coming at the store, the products that my dad used to sell were my friends. So this is how I got into this business of plumbing with my dad. I understood this concept of selling, how to sell from the same store, how to understand customers' mind, how to convince them. So all this was taught during my childhood. And when we talk about
which standard you were in that time?
I was in 6th standard when I started visiting my dad's store. I used to be just an audience, silent audience. I used to sit at the store, sit at the cash counter, and watch dad and the other staff selling products to the customers. The market was also different. There used to be a lot of walk-ins during that time. So
which place was it?
This is Borivali.
Borivali.
Yes.
That store is still running?
Yeah, it's still running. So this is how I got into the family business. So as things passed, I also grew up. I started understanding more about the business. I started getting involved in the business. After my schooling was over, after my SSC, I didn't score a lot in SSC, so I had to compromise on my college as well. But then after understanding that I need to go to a better college, I worked hard for getting into a good college. After my HSC, I scored good as well. Like if you say I scored 42% in SSC and I scored 83 in HSC, it was a major transformation. Like a guy who's scoring 42% in SSC and he's scoring 82 in HSC, so I scored really good. But then
by study or by book?
By study. So it was then I was always like if I read something, I could understand it well. But if I don't do, if I'm doing it, I'll do it well. If I'm not doing it, I'll not do it. So during my SSC, I was not so much focused on it. Actually, there was this cricket World Cup, and I used to follow cricket since my childhood. So during my SSC, there was this cricket World Cup during my exam time. So I never took interest in studies, and I was always interested in looking at cricket, watching cricket matches. So after HSC, I understood that I have to score good to get into some good education institute. But then even after scoring good, I couldn't get into some good college because I had some family pressure that if you go to good college, you will have to take the whole day to travel, who would sit at the store and who would handle it.
But your dad was there, correct?
So I belong to a very orthodox family where the family thinks that you have to stick to the business rather than focusing elsewhere, because this is what you have to do in future. So they didn't allow me to go to the college where I wanted to, and then I had to continue with the same college that I was doing before my HSC. So after a year, there were few disputes in business as well, with generation gap, you can say. My dad used to think something else, I used to think something else. He has a different mindset for business, and I was always into bringing something new, and he was always into trying something which is already tested. So there were some differences, and then one final day I decided that I will not continue with that store, and I'll start something for myself. So I started looking for jobs. I got into a bank as a sales representative. I got promoted into the same bank as a regional manager. Then again I came back to that store after 2 years. I came back to Dexter after 2 years, and then again the same problem continued. Then I again joined a e-commerce company called MyDealer.com. I joined that as an zonal head. I was promoted as a national head there with the same company. I worked there for almost 3 years. I had a team of almost 150 people under me when I last worked there. So this was one of the last work that I did. After that, when I came back to that store, and again we ended up with the same thing. That's when I decided that let's do it. I am meant for doing business, so I'll do it again, but not this time. Not with that support. And this time because this time I had a lot of capital with me that I earned during my work period where I used to work for other companies. So I used all the capital and started my own company, own plumbing company, which I'm still running. And this is how I started my complete journey of business from my childhood to this. So this journey, I never got time to understand my hobbies well. I always had a lot of hobbies. I used to sing well, I used to paint well, I used to write well, but then I never got time to explore all of that. I never got time to make good friends as well. So the friends that I made or after I was 26. So after I got a lot of maturity, that's when I started making friends. Before that, I had no friends. So you can say that I had no childhood friends since beginning. I don't even remember anyone being my friend during my school days or college days. So this is how I got into the industry. This is how I came from childhood to a teenager and to a teenager to a mature person. So this is how
one thing I'll just 3 times you left your dad's business, and 3 times, correct? 3
Yes.
times you came back.
Yes.
So I know this question is a little touchy, and you can duck this question. Do you have a good relationship with your dad, or there is always struggle?
Well, I would rather say that it is struggle, but then that's part of life. You cannot change it. So they are the ones who have got in the world. So definitely they must not be bad at heart, but then things doesn't match when you.
They do what they think is the best. I mean, there's no bad intentions.
There are different thought process of each and every individual.
Yes.
I have some different thought process for myself. They must have some different thought process for themselves. They must have some different thought process for myself, and I must have some different thought process for them. So when things don't match for each other's thought process doesn't match. What I feel is we should leave it there and not think more about it, because that would create more confusion.
Is he still in the business?
Yes.
And in the same business?
Yes.
So do you, in a way, since now you have become a successful, I'm sure he has more trust in you
Yes.
and your capabilities. So do sometimes he ask for the suggestions, or do you give? Because see, parents are such thing, it's like a roots, whatever the tree can become, it can never go far from the roots, that's for sure. So do you really go back and say, you should do it? And since now you are capable, in a way successful, and this is our duty to really go back to the roots. So
Absolutely.
give some example or give some,
So there are a lot of things that we share with each other professionally, and things are good otherwise. Like there is no problems with that, and we share a lot of business ideas to each other now, and that's where we end up end the discussion, and rather than getting deeper into the discussion.
Okay, what the thing, since you said difference between you and that was the ideological difference.
Yes.
I mean, nothing because you wanted to do something the one way, but since being a conventional and conservative
Yes.
person, so when you started your business, what are the things you did which you think you made you successful? Why I'm asking this question, because in India there are lots of family business, and this is always because young guy MBA or this thing, they have their own mind, but since they were conservative people or conventional for that matter, and so what are the things you did that made you successful from the earlier generation or your earlier business?
And I've always believed in change. So as I said, I was a very good observer. Since the time I got into this business with Dad, like when I was in 6th grade, and I used to sit as an observer at the cash counter at Dad's store. I used to observe customers. I used to observe the products that my dad used to sell at his store. So slowly and steadily, my dad's store is in a competitive marketplace. So there are a lot of other vendors in the same marketplace. So what I used to always see is that every 6 months, every 1 year, there is a new product coming in. The complete industry is selling that product, and after that product is tested by each and everyone, and the product starts getting promoted well, my dad used to start selling that product after that. And I used to see that it was going good result to him as well. So I always wanted to be the number one person who used to get that product. So this is how the differences between my dad started as well. Because one fine day I told my dad that this is the new product which is going to launch. Before our competitors get it for display, I want us to do it. So that's where my first argument with my dad happened. When Dad said no, that we cannot do this because this would not work well in our market. In the market which we are located, and let's do it. If it works, it would give us the first mover advantage, because what I understand is the first mover advantage is what you can earn in a business, otherwise it's just peanuts that you get. So that's
where did you learn? Because have you gone to marketing school, MBA college?
This is the words that I am using right now. I am using right now.
Yeah.
You can understand because I work for corporates.
Okay.
When I said I had more than 150 people working for me, all of them were MBA students, and I was leading them. So I understand. I have a lot of gurus, like you say. You see that Netflix movie, there are a lot of gurus, and I have a lot of gurus who taught me a lot of things, good things and bad things, everything, how to deal with people, how to deal with good situations, bad situations. So I understand what industry is, how to talk, what to behave, what is selling all about, what is a customer all about, what is a dealer all about. So I know a lot of things.
So these are the things you are saying for a business to be successful, like you mentioned.
Change is, I think, one of the biggest thing for being a successful entrepreneur, because if you don't change with the changing market trends, you'll end up where you started.
And where do you learn or see these trades? How do you find it?
Market research. Because with the companies that I used to work, I used to develop new products. And while developing new products, I used to study customer buying trends. So while understanding customer buying trends, I started understanding. Whenever I do something, whenever I get a new product, I understand it from a consumer perspective. As a consumer, what would I want? So definitely, if I'm thinking about a cup like this, I would say this is a very beautiful cup with a hand painted lady on it. But then, what's the future? What new can I get in it, which would get me a better price for it?
What is the difference between selling a plumbing or selling the art? Is there any difference, or do you think fundamentals are the same? It is just the art is also in the product.
I'll say that selling product is more difficult than selling an art in today's world. It was vice versa 10 years back. 10 years back, people never used to spend money on artworks. People used to buy products. That too, they used to find which is the best product and the cheapest product. The trend has changed. The lifestyle of people have changed in the recent years. And what I understand is people understand more about art. People know what, even if I am selling a painting, not a portrait, people understand what's the meaning of the portrait, which people never used to understand before. They are ready to pay they're ready to pay like anything for art if they like it. And when you talk about a product, selling a product is far more difficult today, because the market has got very, very competitive. If I am selling a product, I have thousands of competitors selling the same product. And art cannot.
Unique.
Art is unique. Art cannot be copied. So selling art is very easy. I would rather say selling art is not the right word. I would say sharing your art. Selling is not the right word for it.
So it's,
art is shared and product is sold.
So, but where did you get rather felt most satisfied internally? Well, now that since you are a professional artist and trying to make a good business out of it, so do you think this is gives you more inner satisfaction, or earlier? I mean not say earlier, but in a plumbing business.
Now, I'd say both of them give me satisfaction because this is something that I do as a hobby as well, and that is something that I've been doing since my childhood. So I have emotional connection to both of them. So I would not rather say that this is art and I am more connected to art and product is something that I'm not connected to. I'm connected to both of them. What I'm connected to is I'm connected to grow a product, grow a service, or grow something from zero to something big. This is my forte since I have started getting more into management of things and management of products and management of services. Like with my dad's store as well, I started getting new products and wanted to take it from one level to another. When I was working with companies as well, I used to launch new products. So the product, whenever you're launching a product, the product is at the base level and you have to take it up to an extent. I started my own company. I started it from zero. So what I understand is my forte is building things, building products, building services, building and brand. So this is what I think that I am made for. So talking about plumbing and painting, I have emotional connect to both of them. But then I'll say that I am more into like if I'm doing something, I want it to grow. So when I'm doing my plumbing part of it, I want it to grow. I'll not give up till it reaches a benchmark which I have decided that I would go there. And talking about this, I have certain goals, and maybe in the next few years I'll reach my goals with the painting.
Do you have any defined goals? Like
for portraits and paintings? Yes, I have defined goals. Like I'm also getting it across all the people in the world. I am under the process of getting the website ready for the portrait thing, where it would be an e-commerce website and everybody in the world, across the world, would be able to buy paintings and portraits from me. So I'll take it to the next level in the next few months. And
then what happened to your plumbing business?
Plumbing business would go simultaneously because in the process, I learned a very good thing from my jobs that I used to do. Delegation of things.
Mm-hmm.
Earlier when I was working with my father, I was an all-rounder. Like I'll also do the salesman part of it, I'll also do the management part of it, I'll also do the accounts part of it, I'll also do the hard work of getting things assembled as well. So everything was done by a single person. This is what, but the basic thing that I learned was doing sales there. And what I learned from working with corporates was delegation of work. I cannot be an all-rounder because I want to grow more. And if I want to grow more, I have to delegate things to my people. If I'm paying someone, the person should be doing it and I should be planning what he should be doing. So this is where I started delegation of things and I completely follow it till now. So even if today I'm sitting here talking to you, all my businesses are working fine because I have delegation of work done to each of them.
I think that's a great lesson, and also that's a main difference between family business and the corporate world.
Yes.
So, can you tell me 2-3 more differences that where the family business, because India there are lots of generation, there are lots of family business, and the corporate. Just 2-3 things which highlights the difference between family business and the corporate business. And you may say that these are the 2 good things in a family business that corporate world should adopt.
In a family business, what I understand is it's in your blood. You do it because you're born with it. Like if it's your business, you have that command. You have during your childhood, you have that liberty to go to your dad's office or your mom's office and sit there and understand more about the business and command as a boss there. Command as a boss there because you don't know anything about it, but still you are commanding. So you get that leverage at that point of time. जो future में कभी आपको नहीं मिलती. Once you are grown up, even your parents won't allow you to command there. But as a child, you get that authority to command. So this is the best part of the childhood. If you're into a family, if you're into a business family where you get to go to your parents' businesses and understand, sit there, command there, and while doing that, the major thing is to observe what they are doing, what they are selling. So this is when what you observe is what you learn. So in family business, what you learn is you learn things in childhood when your brain is ready to accept things. So it gets into your mind.
Yes, subconscious
So,
mind. Yeah.
So a family business is very helpful if you're getting indulged in it since your childhood. If you decide to get into a family business after your college
Studies
and after your studies, it gets difficult for you to adjust in the family business because you have not understood it during the childhood days. And talking about corporates, what I understand about corporates is working for corporates teaches you a lot of things because teaches you a lot of textbook things. This is the way you have to do it like this, and then you have to experiment it in the stage where you have to also think about your future career scope. And it is exactly the opposite when you talk about family business. हार भी गए तो भी कोई गम नहीं क्योंकि अभी हम बच्चे हैं.
Correct.
So you get a lot of leverage when you are in your childhood days. So what I understand is family business teaches you a lot more than the corporates, because corporates is a textbook thing which you learn and then you have to implement it in the corporate world, irrespective of the result. Even if you fail, you have to do it again. Even if you pass, you have to do it again. But if you fail, you'll get bogged down and lead yourself. Maybe you will take yourself 2 years, 3 years more backwards. But that would not happen if you are into a family business.
What do you do to enrich yourself internally? I mean, just to ask in few words.
So I take things step by step, and I just take what life brings to me. Like if there's something coming positively to me, I'll take it positively and move ahead. If there's something negative coming to me, I'll wait there. I'll hold on till the negativity passes away, and then I'll again start moving ahead. And I just enjoy life. So this is one of the things that I do to enrich myself.
Okay, guys, that's the lesson we should learn. That he enjoys business as well as he enjoys life. I mean, it's not that if you are a business person, you can't, have a life. And it was for me, it's really inspiring because he's an artist, he is a business person, and he balances both. And thing is, he enjoys both. And so we'll end this episode here, and we'll take to the another journey with another inspirational story. Hope you like this. Do share your feedback so that we can implement, we can improve our this journey talk. Thanks a lot for watching us.
I would like to share something with you. Thank you for inviting me because ज़रूरी है तस्वीरें लेना भी, आईने अक्सर गुजरा हुआ कल नहीं दिखाते हैं. Thank you.